Victoria Moore, and this is my final presentation. So for the introduction, I did my practicum at Castle Downs Family YMCA. The supervisor for the majority of it was Amy Jackus, but she stepped down kind of near the end, and Jasmine Peterson took over. The clientele, so I had one client. Her name was Christina. She's the main one that I trained, and I spent the 10 hours client training her. Other trainers that I might mention is Lawrence and Jill's. I worked some shifts with them, so they're the two trainers that I'll be mentioning by name. So for hours and duties, I completed 66 scheduled hours, not including client training, and then I client trained her for 10 hours. Some duties were greeting everyone that came into the fitness facility, shadowing fitness consultations, performing exercise demonstrations for people that want some assistance, or even for the other trainers who might ask me to demo for their clients. And yeah, just assisting anyone who needs help with the machines or the equipment use. And I also gave orientations to children because they allow children in their fitness center, depending on the age, with a parent or without a parent. So I would orientate them and their parents on where they're allowed to be, because they're not allowed in every part of the fitness center. Amy also had me introduce myself every shift, so I worked 10 hours a week, so 3 or 4 hour shifts each time. She had me meet at least 3 people and new people and write it down on a piece of paper for her about what we talked about and their names and everything, and she'd give me feedback on it. She actually said that she tells everyone to do that, but most people don't, so it was a good thing that I did because it got me out of my comfort zone. And yeah, so I did a total of 76 hours because I did 66 hours scheduled, like I said, and then 10 hours training my client Christina. And then the program for Christina, so Christina has several injuries or past injuries that she wanted to focus on strengthening that area. So she wrecked her she had surgery on her ACL, MCL. She had bone taken out and cartilage removed and whatnot in her right knee, so it was really weak. She did physio right after, so that was 18 months ago from when I met her. She did physio, but then right after physio she stopped doing anything to it, so it got really weak again, and she wanted to strengthen it. She also has lower back issues, mostly from her genetics. She doesn't really know what it's called or anything, but it gets really tired and sore down there, so she wanted to strengthen that a bit as well because she sits all day. So yeah, her main goal was to strengthen her bad leg. Obviously her left leg accounted for the difference, so the right leg wasn't doing what it was supposed to at all. And her main goal was, to be able to go on a hike with her daughter's school in May. And she wanted to be able to trust and make sure it was safe. She doesn't want to end up going on a hike and not being able to finish it or twisting it along the way. So yeah, the program design, we did lots of different exercises. Because she hadn't done anything, like going up and down stairs was hard for her, and adducting it to the side and everything. All the natural movements were hard for her physically, and it was a mental thing as well. So I took a corrective exercise approach, especially for the first 3 quarters of our training sessions. So some exercises I had her do, we changed them a lot as it varied as the days went on. So, but generally we stuck to the plan. There was single leg step ups. I tried to do a lot of single leg movements so that it could really isolate her leg. So we did, single leg step ups. We did dumbbell rows for her lower back. Swiss ball back extensions, and she really, really liked those, so I'm glad. We did glute bridges. The main one for the program was a normal glute bridge or doing it on elevating it like a stair. We did work our way up to single leg glute bridge, which is really good. Swiss ball hamstring curls, wall squats or sits. We started with the squats. She had a Swiss ball at her back. She would squat down 3 seconds, hold 3 seconds, up 3 seconds. And then we eventually were doing 3 sets of 1 minute wall sit. She found that a lot harder, but she did it no problem. Calf raises, so monster walk with a resistance band, a loop resistance band. I tried to throw the loop resistance bands in wherever I could, because it worked the proper muscles and she really enjoyed it. And a squat walk, so she would go halfway around the track doing a monster walk and then halfway around the track doing a squat walk, 10 each side and switch. So that was really effective. And then exercise varied as she progressed. So like I said, I would change them to single leg or add a resistance band or a glider and make a basic, that was the basic foundation. Modifications that I made varied depending on the day, but it did progress. Some modifications that was chosen, like I said, was single leg exercises. Jill's, one of the trainers that I mentioned, he specializes in corrective exercise, and when I first started training her, he asked to see the program that I made, so I showed him and he said it was really good. He also he showed me different modifications for exercises that I didn't even think of, like just lying side raises, going against a wall with a glider, your foot against a glider and then raising. He demoed that, he had me demo that, and it was really good. So I ended up throwing that into the workout eventually and stuff like that. So it was really nice to get feedback from him as well, someone who specializes in it. We would sub different exercises for different things. So at the beginning, she said, I can't squat, I can't lunge, this, that. And by the end, we had, I had her lunging, different types of lunges. One of her main goals too was she wanted to be able to do the leg press. Had her on that. So it all progressed from the foundation that I made originally. And then those are some pictures of modifications and equipment that I stuck with. So obviously the loop resistance bands, like I said, even for a double leg glute bridge, I threw that in as I saw we could, and hamstring curls on the Swiss ball, I'd make her put that around her quads. And dumbbells just for the odd exercise. And for the dumbbell row, we started with a resistance band, a normal loose resistance band, and then she was ready for the dumbbells. We just didn't want to overdo it in the beginning. And then the gliders, like I said, for the lunges, I had her do a back lunge but with a glider, and a side lunge with a glider, and then lying adduction raises with the glider. So I really tried to stick to the simple tools for the general workout. So if she wanted, when she does it on her own, she can kind of stay in an area because it does get really busy there. So report with client. So it was really easy to develop a relationship with her, which was nice because in my first practicum, they had me bring my own clients. So I already knew them. So it was a completely different approach. So I had never met her before. She works at the YMCA as well, at the front desk. And so it was really easy to talk with her and build a relationship with her after meeting. And she didn't really trust her leg or anything, but once she's seen what it can do with the program, she was down to try anything. Especially while I was there, she wanted to try she really wanted to try the leg press, like I said, but she wanted to do it when I was there. So I made sure that we did that before our training sessions ended. Professionalism was maintained throughout our training. I tried to be as professional as possible, but we did become friends, and then the sessions didn't even feel like work, which was really nice and different for me. Like I said, I hadn't met her, but it was really easy to bond with her, and she really trusted my opinion and my advice, which was nice. And then report with the supervisors. So like I said, Amy Jackus was the supervisor for the majority of my practicum. Then there was a week or two where there wasn't a supervisor, and then there was Jasmine. So when I first met Amy and Jasmine, they were both really nice and welcoming and friendly, and I thought they'd be really great to learn from, because that's a completely different approach from anything that I've been a part of, as of recently anyway. So anything that they thought would have been a topic that members would have been very passionate about, there was a few when I first started, like they were changing the layout of the fitness facility, and they were doing a vote, and she said you're going to get asked questions about if they're changing it, when they're changing it, where can I vote, stuff like that. So they really made sure to keep me informed with stuff like that, because a lot of the members that attend are people that have been attending for years and years and years. So they're very passionate about where they like things. So it was nice to have the answers to those questions when I was asked them, because I was asked them. And then if I had a question, they had no problem answering it. They didn't hesitate or anything, and they were really easy to get a hold of. They even gave me their numbers and said if I had any issues or questions, just to contact them, and it was very easygoing. It made it easy to, the way that they acted, for me to jump in and assist, helping them, and for them asking me for help, because I became very approachable, and I liked the energy that the YMCA provided. And then report with staff. So I worked with many people on the fitness floor, because there was always people coming and going. Like MODs were always upstairs, downstairs, people that do the laundry for the plus rooms, and where we change the paper towels and everything. But for the majority, I either worked by myself upstairs or with Lawrence or Jill's. Lawrence taught me a lot, especially about how to approach people. He's so friendly, and he knows how to just walk up to someone, start a conversation, do little tests on them, whether they knew it or not, and they were always laughing. I always thought it would bother people to kind of just barge in on their workouts, but it seemed like they really enjoyed it. And what was nice is he was excited to learn just as much as I was, so he really there was some fitness assessments too that he didn't know what they even were, and I showed him, and I was doing some tests on him, practicing, and he was just excited to learn. And at one point, surprise, one Tuesday we were working, and he had me, he made me work out, like he was my trainer out of nowhere, so that was fun. And then he said the next week I got to train him, and I trained him, and he said it was one of the best training sessions that he ever had, a really, really good workout. So that was really nice, because I haven't had too many clients in the past. So that was really nice to get a professional opinion from him. And I like his approach to fitness because it's inclusive for everyone, and he has consistent motivational energy. And he just wants the best for everyone, no matter who they are. He has his specialties, obviously, just like any other trainer, but he was very confident all around. And then report with members. So I developed a lot of relationships with the members, especially because Amy had me meet at least 3 people every shift. And there were some shifts where I was meeting 11 new people. I was walking, introducing, I became more confident. So I think my relationship with the members were really good, and it got to the point where Like I said, a lot of them are regular members, and some of them are regular members but only come on Sundays. Like, I don't see them in the evening, so I would catch up on them on a Sunday, and it was really nice. We'd end up talking for like 20 minutes, catching up on their week, and Amy encouraged that. She said, she's like, talk to as many people as you can for as long as you want. She's like, people are going to want to talk to you for like 20 minutes, and she's like, talk to them for 20 minutes, because then you get to know the personal side of personal training, and I can't say I ever thought of it that way. And like I said, I thought I was going to be interrupting their sessions, but they wanted to catch up with me as much as I wanted to catch up with them. I noticed too that some of the members told me some of the trainers weren't as outgoing and easier to approach, so introducing myself to so many people made them comfortable to come up to me whenever they had a question. And there was times where there'd be another trainer on the floor and they would come up to me instead of walking up to the staff member. I was just a volunteer, so that was a really good feeling, because it shows that I'm doing something right. And that was one of the main things I had to work on, was being able to introduce myself, approach people in a proper way, and not be so shy. So by the end, I wasn't shy at all. Challenges at the practicum site. Overall, they prepared me really well. Like I said, they notified me of really important issues that were going on. When machines broke, there was a good amount of machines broken at one time. So some of the challenges were around that, and just members getting mad about not knowing when it's getting fixed, because there was a lot of them, they weren't even sure if they were getting fixed. They were, like I said, they were voting to rearrange the whole top floor, and so they were getting rid of some machines and merging some and switching areas, so it was kind of hard when they're very passionate. Members were very passionate about it. But overall, it was fine. They were out of order, and I usually had the answers or could provide them enough information to the point where they were satisfied. Another challenge was ensuring that children and kids stayed in the areas they were supposed to. I had never been to a gym where they allow kids upstairs in the fitness center. Anywhere from 8 to 16-year-olds were classified as kids. 8 to 11 had to be with a parent within arm's reach at all times. And sometimes they would just wander up by themselves, or parents would just drop them off, or mom would be on a treadmill and the kid would be over by the cable machines where they're not supposed to be. So that was one of the main issues, and they all got orientation. They had to get shoe tags. So they all got orientated, the kids and the parents, and they still tried to do that and use equipment they weren't allowed to, and we just wanted to ensure their safety. So explaining that to parents, and they knew, but that was one of the challenges, because they obviously, all of them didn't want to stay with their kids because it limits them as well. I also had some client challenges. So we had agreed to do 15 hours because I started my practicum kind of early, and I said I need 10 to 15 hours, and she was okay with doing 15. So it was really nice, and she would see the best results with the most hours, of course. And then there was times where I would get there in the morning, and she would text me after I was there saying, I'm not going to make it. Sorry. And I'm just like, that part was very frustrating. I didn't much appreciate that. And then there was a whole week where she canceled, and she was going through a lot of personal issues, so I understand. I didn't get mad or anything, but it is frustrating, and I can see how, cancellations are very common in this industry, so it's good to have rules in place for that. So I wish she would have completed the 15 hours. Like I said, she would have maximized results from there, but she did do really good with the 10. I just wish, even though she canceled, that the gaps in between weren't so big, because like I said, she missed a whole week one time, or a week and a half, and it's just kind of discouraging. But regardless, we finished the hours. Measure of success. So with my client, we did several different measurements, fitness assessments. I kind of wish I had done more, but some of the ones we did do, I did the basics, height, weight. I did a waist circumference. We did sit and reach, overhead squat, a few other ones, but those were the main ones that I tried to focus on, especially for the follow-up assessments. So that was one measurement for success, and she definitely was successful. Another measurement of success when it came to Christina was noticing how her everyday tasks were becoming more easier for her. So like I said, she had trouble with stairs, basic movements like lifting her leg higher up than usual, adducting it out to the side, abducting it, and everything. So that was discouraging for her. So it was really easy for her to notice results even though it wasn't visually apparent. She was telling me, she's like, I used to have to hold the railing to go downstairs, and now I'm running down the stairs. So that's really encouraging too, because it's not always visually going to change. She did get visual changes, but that's not always the case, especially with this kind of approach. But I am really happy she saw change and noticed change in her everyday life. So measure of success continued. So for myself, a measure of success was meeting people and it becoming a normal way of life there without having to write it down anymore. Like I said, there was a supervisor change, so then I still made that decision to go meet new people, even though I wasn't writing it down because there was no one to leave it to. I found myself excited to catch up with the members I had met and excited to meet new ones and help them out with whatever means necessary, because a lot of people were also new to the gym and they just kind of didn't know where to start. And also one day I forgot my name tag, which isn't a huge deal, but because I made that effort to go meet everybody, especially in the beginning, and then catch up with everyone, people knew me by name, so I still found people coming up to me, members coming up to me, saying my name, asking me questions, even though I wasn't even wearing my name tag. So that was a really good feeling because, like I said, socialization skills is something that I had to work on, and it's definitely something that I improved. And yeah. So client satisfaction. In our first meeting, Christina said how many exercises and movements that she has trouble doing or isn't comfortable doing. Lunges was one of them, squats was one of them, running, but she just didn't like running, but exercises like that. She wanted to play badminton and volleyball again because she used to play. The YMCA has drop-in games for anyone who wants to participate a few times a week, and she really wanted to participate in that as well, but she didn't trust herself. Then she said she was going to try the volleyball game, which is amazing. She had been treating it like her leg like an injury site since her surgery. Even after physio, when she stopped doing everything, then that mentality was like, oh, it's still injured, and it just decreased from there. So a part of it was really weak, but part of it was also a mental thing as well, and we definitely worked on that, and she realized her potential. So yeah, it didn't take her long to trust it more. She was afraid of doing the hike because she was afraid she wasn't going to make it. She was going to twist it, she was going to dislocate it, she was going to fall, anything like that. So that was one of the main concerns for her. And after our last session, she seemed very confident. She was going to go play a volleyball game, and she was really excited for the hike. She also promised to text me with the updates after the hike in May, so I'm excited to see that. I'm sure it'll be positive because she had really great results. Then professional performance rating. So for initiative and accountability to the organization, I gave myself a 10 out of 10. I took initiative when people needed assistance. There was times I'd be like with the supervisor helping them measuring for the new equipment and the equipment rearrangement and everything, and they have enough on their plate as it is. People would come up and they're wearing the staff shirt and there's me, my volunteer, and I would just take over. I'd be like, I will show them and offer to do it voluntarily. It's good learning for me, and the members didn't have a problem with it, and then it gave the supervisors or the trainers a feeling of relief, so it was really nice in that sense. So that's why I gave myself a 10 out of 10. Communication with staff and clients, I gave myself a 9 out of 10. I got really good at communicating with the staff, clients, and members. One thing I still have to work on is enunciating. I'm really bad for mumbling, so that is why I gave myself a 9 out of 10, because I'll always have to work on that. Information gathering with business operation, projects, and clients' data collections, I gave myself a 9 out of 10. I kept up to date, informed, and assisted with business projects. And then as for the client data and collection, I do wish that we did a few more fitness assessments, just so that there was more to look back on. But the ones that we did do, they all improved, so that was really great as well. But that's why I gave myself a 9 out of 10, because in the future, like, I will do more, especially related to the area of concern. Exercise, movement, demonstration, cueing, and presentation skills. I gave myself a 9 out of 10. I felt I was really good at demonstrating. Cueing, I did okay. And I always made sure that she felt okay, and that the weight was, she was feeling it where she was supposed to during the movement, and that the weight was distributed where it was supposed to. But like I said, the mumbling is one of the reasons I docked myself, as well as the, what's the word I'm looking for? As well as losing count. I am not the best at keeping count. When we're talking, like, I have to work on the multitasking, so that's also why I docked myself. Punctuality and availability, I gave myself a 10 out of 10. I was never late. I was always on time and ready to go, and very present on the floor. And they don't have anyone working Sundays, really. And one of my longest shift for 4 hours was on Sundays, so it definitely helped them have someone up there, because I guess not that many people want to work Sundays, but it can get busy for them because it's a weekend and it is a family place. So people are working out as a family or going swimming, and the parents are coming upstairs. So I think they appreciated having someone there on a Sunday, because other than that, they didn't have anyone else there. And knowledge gained at the site, I gave myself a 10 out of 10. I learned so much throughout this practicum as compared to my first one, because there was just, everything was just different in a good way, and there's so much to learn, and I know the learning never stops, because everyone says how much you learn on job as well. So it's inevitable. I think I got a 10 out of 10 out of that, because I learned so much. And then in conclusion, Castle Downs Family YMCA was amazing. Like I said, as compared to my first one, I much enjoyed this experience. It helped me with my confidence and my personal training skills, but also skills that I'll use in everyday life that I was just kind of lacking, just due to habit and just personality in general. But it definitely helped me to come out of my shell and become more confident. It was nice being around. I haven't been in a place where everyone was so friendly to each other and excited to catch up with each other and see each other. And that's like staff to staff, that's staff to members, that's members to members. I've never been in a place where so many members associate with each other every single day, which was nice, because I haven't seen that in a fitness setting yet. So that was really nice. So yeah, I hope in the future I can work for a place like the YMCA, because they're so inclusive. They have something for everyone, and it was just one of the best experiences. And I know I wouldn't have done it voluntarily if it wasn't for school. So I am really happy that I got that opportunity. And that's the end of my presentation. Thank you.